we're going to do what I had said before. We're going to do a one for you, one for me day, where we just listened to DMX, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, which was an X-Pac pick. And then because I've gotten so many requests on the YouTube for me to showcase, because people don't like how I'm coming at some of this stuff and feel like they want to judge what I like, which is such a weird mentality to me. I don't quite understand that. But I do like they want to judge what I like, so why don't I present some of the music that I really hold dear and that I really love? I am going to show an album that's like one of my favorite albums of all time, and a very influential album to me that kind of shaped me as a young person into the music fan that I am, really. And that album we're going to talk about today is Faith No More's Angel Dust, made in 1992, which is the second album of the Mike Patton era. Faith No More was around well before Mike Patton was ever part of the band. And I don't believe... Apple Music does have We Care a Lot. There were at least 2 albums before Mike Patton became the singer of Faith No More in 1989 with Real Thing, which was an album that essentially was already written and done. And they had sacked their original vocalist, who was Chuck Mosley, that was on both Introduce Yourself, and I believe he was on We Care a Lot. I remember We Care a Lot has never been a big Faith No More album for me to listen to, because it's still, like, their early stuff feels like they're still feeling things out. Like, there's some cool shit on We Care a Lot, but it isn't one that I revisit very often. I feel like Faith No More really found their voice with Introduce Yourself, with Chuck Mosley at the helm for the vocals. I mean, this has the song everyone knows, We Care a Lot, on it, but the whole album is really fucking solid. The main hurdle for entry and bar for entry are Chuck Mosley's vocals, which are very unique and very different, and not necessarily musical in a way that he's not a traditionally good singer. But he just brought such a weird edge and different vibe to the band that it kind of went along with the really atonal, cattywampus thrash mixed with cabaret, mixed with funk, mixed with all sorts of other various music vibe that Faith No More has always kind of been about. But then, because I may be misquoting this, I'm just going off of my own memory, Chuck Mosley had some substance abuse problems, alcohol and drug problems, that Faith No More kind of had to give him the sack. And after that, they started the process of writing The Real Thing, which ended up becoming their breakout album back in 1989. And they found this young teenage singer named Mike Patton, who was in a Bay Area band called Mr. Bungle, who was kind of pretty much early in his life already a virtuoso singer. And Faith No More's Real Thing is an adventurous, really cool album that mixes hip hop with Bay Area thrash, with funk, with very cinematic, kind of grand, epic music. And it goes all over the place with the help of Billy Gould on bass, who's just this absolute monster. If you want to, you want to point towards monsters of rock bass, with like Geddy Lee or with Steve Harris of Iron Maiden, these guys that are Alex Webster of Cannibal Corpse, these guys that just are fucking virtuosos that just command the presence, where bass a lot of times just sits back in the pocket and like replicates in rock and roll, and especially metal, a lot of what the guitars are doing. In no way does Billy Gold sit back and just ape what the guitars are doing. His stuff is so fucking cool and groove based and technical that they become a presence in and of themselves on these songs. But this album, which obviously everyone knows the song Epic off of this album. It was the big hit. It's the one that everyone thinks Faith No More is just like a one-hit wonder band because of this song. And it could arguably be pointed towards, and I know the roots of nu metal go back a little further, but like what we know of nu metal and kind of like rap metal, its roots kind of start to become a little more clear here with Faith No More's Real Thing and Epic. And that's a really awesome song. There's no denying it's a really awesome song. But when somebody just hears that, I don't feel that it's an accurate representation of what this band has to offer. And especially the Real Thing, which is far more adventurous than the previous album, Introduce Yourself. Introduce Yourself, aptly titled, I think, is the real true first album of Faith No More, even though it's not the first album of Faith No More. It feels like that's where Faith No More started to come into their own. And the Real Thing is not a super collaborative album with the vocalist. And I think up until Angel Dust was produced, Faith No More acted as a band that wrote all the music and then had the vocalist come in and do stuff over top of it. So I don't really, even though it's the first album that Mike Patton came on, and he's really only, I believe, like 18 years old, 17, 18 years old when this album was put together, and he was basically, the album was in the can, and he was just said, hey, we need a vocalist to put some vocals on this stuff. And he fucking absolutely destroyed it because he's such a good fucking singer. It wasn't until Angel Dust happened that I feel Faith No More, that everyone that our fans know of, really was born. In between Faith No More's Real Thing and Angel Dust, part of the contract that was given to Mike Patton to sign on with Faith No More after it was done was with Warner Brothers, because that's where, like, I believe with Introduce Yourself, Faith No More had signed on with Warner Brothers, was that his band, Mr. Bungle, would get a record contract and that they would record an album. And in between this, the wild success of The Real Thing, propelled entirely by Epic, the song Epic. There's a few other tracks, like Falling to Pieces was a single, From Out of Nowhere was a single, and I believe those were the only other singles of this record. Surprise You're Dead's a really good fucking thrashy track too. But everybody knows Epic. It's been everywhere. There's no one that you would show that song to that be like, oh yeah, I haven't heard that song before. Because of that, he was able to sit and bring Mr. Bungle into the studio and record one of the most demented fucking albums of all time with John Zorn, the jazz saxophonist, as the producer of the record. And Mr. Bungle, if you aren't familiar with them, is a band that literally mashes every conceivable genre of music into each song. And it's challenging, it's overwhelming, but somehow they make it work. And that first album, which is literally basically where clowncore came from, and arguably exactly where fucking Slipknot came from, because the first Mr. Bungle album, which is self-titled here, they would dress up as clowns and play this fucking insanely crazy ass music, and maybe we'll listen to some Mr. Bungle at some point. This is an album that literally rerouted my brain after I listened to it. Because of the experience of writing and recording that album, Mike Patton came in and was an active participant in the writing of Angel Dust, much to the chagrin of, like, I don't think it was necessarily because of Mike Patton that the guitarist Jim Martin, who was more of a Sabbathy thrash kind of guitarist, because the rest of the band loved pop and loved funk and loved all these other kinds of non-rock music. Jim Martin was firmly that long hair, I'm a Black Sabbath fan kind of guitarist, which brought it to the metal realm. Faith No More's Angel Dust, the recording of it was a very difficult process and ended up alienating Jim Martin to the point that he was pretty much sacked after the recording of this album, and everything post it, he was never on again. And there are a lot of fans out there that would say that that decision kind of changed the tonality of the band in a way that Faith No More never sounded the same, which I would argue all these albums that came afterward, King for a Day, was a Fool for a Lifetime, album of the year, which actually was in the 90s, their breakup album. And then they came back in 2015 after many, many years and recorded a reunion album called Soul Invictus, which is actually a pretty damn good record too. They just didn't have the sound of these three records because of Jim Martin's kind of thrash identity. But when you sit and listen to people that are involved in the new metal scene, and I would never say that I'm a new metal fan. I would say that I like some of it, but it's not necessarily a genre that I deep dive into because, and this is just my opinion, I feel a lot of it's just kind of shallow. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you like the vibe, you like the vibe, and that's where you go with it, and it's cool. Where Faith No More is always kind of pointed at is from, like, I've heard interviews with the guys from Slipknot, especially the dudes from Korn. I don't know if Faith No More ever has been mentioned with any of the dudes in Linkin Park, but I mean, they all point towards Mr. Bungle and Angel Dust as being like, dude, like, we wish we could do what Mike Patton does on vocals in the vibe, because while all these songs don't have a lot of rapping in them, Mike Patton absolutely at times raps and then warps his vocals. He is such a virtuoso that he goes from operatic singing to more pop-laden hooky singing to kind of nasally annoying singing to rap to outright death metal screams and unhinged fucking vocals. There is very few artists that have ever had the range that he has. And if you were to like talk to me about who is like the top like rock vocalists of all time, Mike Patton has to be in the top 5. Has to be in the top 5. There's no one like him. There wasn't up until that point. And then after that point, boy, Corey Taylor definitely likes Mike Patton. There's no doubt about that. And the boys from Korn really, really fucking love Faith No More and Mr. Bungle. You could just go and check out YouTube clips. There's many clips of those boys really putting them over. And yes, I'm putting this band over hard because it's one of my favorite bands of all time. Like, you guys want to know what I fucking love? Like the music that I love? This album. I got this album when I was 15 years old. My mom at the time was a beautician that worked in a mall in the small town that I grew up in. And every once in a while because they didn't really trust me to stay home alone. I would go with her and be stuck in the mall while she was doing shifts. And why the fuck is that coming up? So I would wander around the mall. She'd give me money to go hit up the arcade, or I would go and literally scour through DVDs at Sunset, Suncoast Video, the shitty overpriced video store, or I would go to the record store that would be in the mall and literally just rifle through everything looking for cool music. And I loved Mr. Bungle and Faith No More so much that when this album came out, I could not wait. And I went and took money. I begged for money to go. And I took it up to the counter. And at this time, if you guys remember, the PMRC was out in full force to stamp and put parental advisory lyrics on anything they deemed had any sort of subversive content in them. Even if an album had one person saying fuck on it, they would slap that on there. And at 15, I was not 16 yet in order to buy this record. I had to beg my mom to come and get me this record. So I bought, she never, she was always so open to me to experience things and take them on my own, that whenever I crossed something in front of her and said, hey, I can't buy this on my own, it has a parental advisory sticker on it, are you cool with this? And that even went with like when we would go to rent movies. My mom didn't care. She trusted that I was smart enough to understand what I was consuming, and also smart enough to know and not act upon like weird urges that a lot of the PMRC and the hate brigade from the right would put on stuff. Like, remember when there was all that shit about Marilyn Manson and Doom and all, and of course in the 80s you had Twisted Sister and Ozzy going in front of Congress to fight for freedom of speech with this kind of stuff. I never at home found that opposition. My dad wasn't necessarily as open-minded as my mom, but my mom absolutely fought for my ability to experience what she felt I was ready to handle. So Faith No More's Angel Dust was something that I took, and I remember this so clearly. We went on a trip to a cabin for a vacation, and I had my Walkman and this tape, and a lot of time by myself while they sat and fished and they did all these other things. I would wander around with this and just listen to this incessantly. And this album, you'll hear it right off the bat, because no two songs are the same on this album. There's a couple that are a little similar, but this album is so adventurous and was considered basically a non-commercial album by all the critics. And I think the label also was like, what are we going to fucking do with this? You guys are such a huge band and you give us this slab of completely uncommercial music that this obviously kind of flopped, but it found its fucking core audience and it became one of the most influential alternative metal albums of all time. And that's my piece. I've lived with this album so much. I love it so much. It is definitely not something for everyone, but it definitely is something I feel that if you claim to be a fan of rock, heavy metal, new metal, it's an album I feel you should listen to. Whether or not you'll like it, I guess that's a subjective kind of thing. But there's no doubt, especially with the big single Midlife Crisis off of this, to see where the influence came from. So thank you for letting me kind of get that out. This album is fucking amazing. And we're going to, I listen to it all the time. I was listening to it yesterday, in fact. This album will never get old to me. It's just timeless. So yeah, we're going to start it off. It's only an hour and 1 minute because they tacked on, as I had said before, Easy, which is a bonus track. It was actually a part of a EP they put out of B-sides called Music to Make Love To, which the cover of that thing, I remember getting the CD, has 2 rhinos fucking on it. It's an additional 3 minutes tacked onto this. So the The real ending to this album is Midnight Cowboy, their cover of Midnight Cowboy. But then the final track that all streaming services, they tacked this on because the album wasn't selling as much as the real thing. And Easy was such a tremendously huge hit because it's a straight up Lionel Richie Commodores cover in which Mike Patton just completely kills it. And the music is kind of jokey enough that it works in a very kind of tongue-in-cheek way. The way Faith No More, this music it takes itself very seriously and can be very dark, but it also is wildly satirical and very much song to song is Mike Patton writing little character sketches. Every song is him writing a little character story, and it doesn't come from him, and that would be pervasive in everything he would do from that point forward. It's not like some of it's message music, but for the most part, it's him venturing into dark realms of the human existence and kind of trying to take the piss out of it. So that's where we're going to go today. There's one cover at the end here, Midnight Cowboy from the movie Midnight Cowboy, and then Easy, which we'll kind of stop at Midnight Cowboy, and then after we get done with that, I'll let you guys listen to Easy because it's easily one of their, for lack of a better term, their biggest songs. It's probably one of their most streamed songs ever because it's such a fucking amazing cover of that song. So anyways, without further ado, I'm bound to disappoint you guys after that long preamble. Here is Land of Sunshine by Faith No More. Let's get to the beginning of this because I was testing it out. And here we go. Angel Dust by Faith No More, Land of Sunshine. Let's fucking ride. Listen to that bass, dudes. Now, for you guys, the band is comprised of Mike Patton on vocals, Roddy Bottom on keyboards, Billy Gold on bass, Jim Martin on guitars, and then Mike. Oh, why am I fucking dying on the drummer's name? He drummed with Ozzy. He's drummed with almost fucking everyone. God fucking damn it. I feel embarrassed that I am fucking this up. And Mike Borden on drums. God, I feel so stupid. But yeah, that's the primary motivating members of this band. So that's kind of the instrumentation you'll hear through this, but there's a lot of samples. There's a lot of shit that goes on between these. So let's start this over again. You're going to hear throughout this album a lot of noises going on in the background that you would think are samples, but they're all fucking Mike Patton's voice and his vocalizations. He stacks sound effects and uses his voice like an instrument a lot of times in ways that other people would just have like a DJ doing it. He's the fucking DJ with his voice. He's always traditionally seen vocals as an instrument rather than like the leading force of any pieces of music. get lost.
Here's how to order. Yes. Now for the next question. Does emotional music have quite an effect on you? Do you feel sometimes that age is against you? Sing and rejoice, and sing and rejoice. Yes. That's interesting. But tell me, do you often sing or whistle just for fun? Do you feel sometimes that age is against you? I can help, I can help you, I can help you help yourself. Just like sing worthwhile tale. Just like sing worthwhile tale. Here's how to order.
If there's any songs, and I'm sorry to stop right at the fucking guitar solo, if there's any songs that feel like kind of like a holdover, Jesus, I have. Oh, did that just fuck up my? Hopefully that didn't fuck up my stream here. I'm having goddamn drive issues here. Hopefully that's still rolling here. Any song on this album that feels like a holdover from the real thing?
What?
Yeah, exactly. Holdover from the real thing. It's this song. This sounds like pretty much if you've heard their album, The Real Thing, this is like an extension of that album for sure. Here, let's roll this back to the beginning of the guitar solo here.
Here's how to order. Very
So that's just a big epic rock song. I don't know if I necessarily would call that much of a metal tune. It has more of the swing and feel of a rock tune. But it's kind of like a good bridge between the last album and then what's to come, because directly the next song, boy, it's not this. Get ready. So much going on in this. The keyboards always felt like made this to be such operatic type music. It's like so grand and so huge to this pretty fucking bare bones thrash tune where Mike Patton hasn't become unhinged yet, but he's starting to get there. If you guys are earphone jockeys and love sitting and listening to albums with headphones on, this is a wonderful experience to listen to on headphones because there's just so much spatially in the recording that's going on that it just kind of it's a ride. It's for sure a ride.
But it's so easy for you. Yeah, there's always one thing. Do you have something to tell me? Say something. Anything. Relax. It's just a phase. You'll grow out of it. It's not fun anymore. It's a thing you hate almost. Nothing you hate almost. Nothing you hate
That song kind of marks the shift into a far more dark place that this album starts to go, with a lot of the primal screaming, a lot of just really atmospheric kind of shit that would go on with the vocals, with a lot of his just weird reverbed sounds. The guitars have that very kind of thrash oriented runs and, you know, staccato articulated kind of playing, in just the epicness of those fucking those keyboards just can't be fucking understated. The real like hero of a lot of Faith No More is the drummer. Mike Bordin holds down such a fierce beat on everything. The guy beats the drums like they owe him fucking money. So the next song, which is Midlife Crisis, is the single of the album. There were a few singles that came out. Midlife Crisis was probably the biggest. Everything's Ruined and A Small Victory were the singles that were actually released from this album. But this one is the one, if anyone knows any song off of this album outside of, you know, the bonus track that got thrown on afterward, Easy, this is the song. It had a big music video that was out at the time, and it has to be like, of any pop rock single that's ever come out, it's got to be one of the most atonal, weird, intense, groovy fucking slabs of rock that a major label is kind of tossed out there. And I may be overstating a lot of this just because of my fucking love and adoration for this album. But Midlife Crisis is a real cool fucking song, filled with samples, filled with real groovy beats, filled with, I guess you could term it as rap a little bit, but you can definitely hear where some of the new metal vocalists came from with the next track. So I'm excited for you guys to hear this. Those tribal drums, dude. That bass run is so nice. This is where it's hard for me when we're doing these, and I've heard these songs hundreds, if not thousands of times at this point in my life, to sit and want to not just jam to them. And it's like, I'm sure upon first listen, like a lot of this stuff is like, whoa. Oh, at this point, I mean, a lot of this kind of music has been done by a lot of other bands. So it's not as maybe out of left field as it was in 1992 when this came out, but that section where it breaks down into almost like a little drum breakdown with samples going on, real fucking cool, just out of left field. And that's what they would kind of be known for with a lot of this. I've always loved the round chorus that they start to do with this last like run of the song here, where it starts to like fade out. They do the traditional fade out on this one, but how they would just sit here. Oh my fucking God, these stupid fucking drives. Where they almost do a vocal round here. I've always loved this part. And then it's the typical rock fade out. If you were going to ask me, like, what Faith No More single, which nobody is, but I'm going to say it anyways. Faith No More single I prefer, Epic or this, it would be this every single time. I like Epic. It's a good song. Obviously, it's a huge song, but this song I feel is just, there's just so much more going on in this song than that song. But it still kind of has that same kind of weird tongue-in-cheek darkness that Epic has, that just, it's fucking wonderful. I've always loved that song. And this song now, RV, we're going to get into something extremely different than the rest of this. This is like one of those songs, just to reference what we had just listened to with DMX, where he's going to sit and tell a story, and it's almost kind of a weird country, very dark story about somebody just ready to fucking die. And it's a fucking doozy. This is RV.
Backside melts into the sofa. My world, my TV, my
Food.
Besides, listen to my belly, girl. Yeah, Michelle's to do. Yeah, I sweat a lot. Nope, yeah, shit. Pants fall down every time I bend over. My feet itch. Yeah, I'm here to scarecrow. Someone taps me on the shoulder every 5 minutes. Nobody speaks English anymore.
I always loved the guitar run that goes on in the right channel, because to me it almost sounds like if someone took like a Looney Tunes, like just music from a cartoon, and just thrown it into a vat of fucking LSD. And it sounds like someone going down a K-hole to be like, I've always felt this feels like somebody that's literally lying on a bathroom floor, like sweating out whatever drugs they're on, staring at the ceiling, knowing that this is the fucking end. Like, they took the wrong fucking drug, brother.
What are you gonna tell me if I was getting stupider? I heard you talking to myself. You don't feel after a while. You take a beating. I'm a swing guy.
Such a fucking weird song. Like, it's just like, it's some dude fucking talking the entire time, and then they decide to throw in these like little choruses where they're kind of singing. He's got such a crooner voice about him. It's so fucking weird. I've always thought this song was so fucking weird, but oddly catchy in a very cattywampus kind of way. I love this track.
Where are the kids? I don't know. Maybe they're pregnant, on drugs, and welfare, top of the world, on a roll, parole reruns, Dodgers and bags of mail cards, stakes in no cornfields, the covers, future history books, old lady's manuals, walking on water, nailed on crosses. I think it's time to talk to my kids. I just tell them what my daddy told me. You ain't
Never gonna amount to nothing. Boy, have I heard that before? All right, that's the song number 4, RV, which obviously up until this point we've gotten full bore rock, thrash metal with some death screams in it, then a kind of dark pop tune, and now some weird drug-addled, like slightly country-ish tune. And then we're gonna go back to some metal here with smaller and smaller and smaller. This is I'm gonna say every single track on this is fucking good for me. I don't know. This is kind of a weird experience compared to some of the other reacts that we've done, because I don't really know what to say other than just glaze this thing the entire time. There's only like one song on this album that I've always kind of been like on, but for the most part, the whole thing's a fucking banger for me. So let's just keep going. Smaller and smaller. Let's listen to this one. This is a pretty fun track. In a traditional like thrash and metal song, a bass player would just sit there in the pocket and ape whatever the guitarist is doing to fatten up those riffs, right? And in no way is Billy Gould following what's going on in the guitar at all. It's like not even close. If you sit and listen to the bass, he is walking all over the place and presenting a groove instead of making Jim Martin's fucking guitars fatter. And it's such good texture. I love it. These kind of big operatic vocals. These are not like very hooky, but almost like dreamy, big swings with the voice that I fucking it just changes what usual thrash metal music would be doing. I mean, the only other people other than like power metal vocalists or maybe like Ronnie James Dio would kind of do with some of that stuff. That was a more typical, like, as it would go on, if you're familiar with Mr. Bungle or any of his other bands, his voice can become completely broken and unhinged when he wants to go for it. And that fucking bite, Jesus Christ, his screams, man. His screams have such a fucking unhinged aspect to them when he absolutely goes for it. I would love at some point for you guys to hear some of the stuff that, like, there's this really great EP that Patton did with Dillinger Escape Plan that has some of his most unhinged vocals. Like, he just fucking, some of the Dead Cross stuff has some of that too, but like that EP with Dillinger Escape Plan is so fucking crazy. Obviously Mr. Bungle, that stuff is fucking nuts, but yeah, that fucking, when he hits that scream, holy fuck, man. Then switching to almost like a Native American chant with like almost like a rain dance going on after that. This is such a wild fucking left turn. If you have headphones on, man, Mike Patton is doing a lot of fucking shit right now in the background with his vocals. There is so much going on. Why get a DJ when you just got fucking Mike Patton? He'll just recreate everything. that track is always kind of blown me away because I remember back in the early 90s, a lot of like pop, rock, metal bands, like the higher profile bands, just didn't get very adventurous with where they wanted to go with the music. It was all fairly homogenous. It all kind of had a similar sound, especially with the, like, when once grunge kind of came onto the scene, you kind of knew what that music, how it moved and how it played. And that's not to say that they weren't doing extremely interesting stuff, but when you got to more straightforward metal stuff where I think Faith No More at times were lumped, there was a lot of times where nobody knew where to put Faith No More because it wasn't necessarily traditional heavy metal. It wasn't like pop music, but it could be construed as that. It was just in this weird gray space because it's too heavy to be like alternative music. For most people, you wouldn't put this alongside like REM or like the Pixies. I mean, even though the Pixies got really weird and were out there, nothing's as outright metal on those albums as like what Angel Dust is doing here, right? Or you wouldn't put this next to Pavement. You wouldn't put this with any of that kind of stuff you normally would see on like, what is that? What was that MTV video show that they would do with Matt Pinfield? I forget what it was called. Anyways, Faith No More, I think, might have been on there once in a while. It would normally get put into like Headbangers Ball, and metal fans in the early 90s did not know what the fuck to do with this. Like, this goes into, like we said, there's this really kind of ominous, almost monotonous chug and churn to the verses, and the choruses are really big, but they're also kind of unhinged and broken and atonal in a way. And then it turns into that funky, almost Native American chanty section in the middle. This is a song that I don't think they really knew how to market this music back in the day. And now I feel if this were an album that were made now, this would like sound fairly normal and be praised, where this was kind of considered almost a flop at the time. And it's unfortunate that it didn't really get its due until much, much later, because there was nothing really that sounded a lot like this unless you went towards more of the adventurous kind of like industrial shit that was going on, that were mixing a lot of genres with harsh like keyboard sounds, but also being a little funky and putting some thrash elements in there, like Ministry and 9 Inch Nails would do some of this stuff. But Faith No More, man, this was like that song in particular, there's a lot going on in that song, especially in some of the quieter parts where just the vocals are so overdubbed and doing weird things that normally you'd bring a DJ in to do, that just weren't really a thing back then. So I could understand why, if Warner Brothers were presented with this music, because they were basically left to their own devices to make this record, where they'd be like, what the fuck are we supposed to do with this? And I think the next track is Everything's Ruined. And it's probably, I would say, the catchiest, most upbeat tune on the album. I mean, Be Aggressive is kind of, it's really goofy and kind of upbeat, but Everything's Ruined, it has, it's really catchy and more rocky, kind of like Land of Sunshine, where it's a little more rocky. I've always loved this track. I have a lot of fun with this one. Why this wasn't a bigger hit, I have no idea. Because I've always felt this is like, for me, this is the single of the album. I've always really loved this song. That fucking slap bass is so fucking hot. I fucking love the bass work on this fucking track here. How they fucking pan those guitars from dun 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 with each of those hits. It's really cool. I don't know if I've ever noticed that before. I love discovering new things and stuff I love. Like, I don't know if I've ever heard that. Him to grow.
Everyone knew the thing that was best. Of course he must invest.
I bet they want to know. So fucking catchy, dudes. This song is so fucking catchy. And then you got like miserly fucking Jim Martin just chugging away on his guitar in the background. There's one of the tastiest fucking guitar solos in all of Faith No More about to come up on this fucking track. There's you got Rodney Bottom just going dee, 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 dee. It's so weird. There's so much going on and it's just so pleasant. Count of failure. God, that I hate to pick like my favorite song on this album because I fucking love every single one of them. But every time Everything's Ruined comes on, I just become so fucking happy. That song is just so fucking good. I don't know, like the vocals are fucking wonderful. That guitar solo in the middle is so tasty. Great bass playing. Everything all around is just so solid. If you guys want to laugh and want to see what a bunch of fucking dickheads Faith No More were, go watch the video for this. It's literally just them on green screen being dickheads. It's a great video. I love it. All right, we're gonna go back down into the fucking ominous dark with the next song, Malpractice. So strap in, boys. There's just this weird like circus feel because of those fucking keyboards to this music. And especially if you've heard Mr. Bungle, it just feels like Patton just literally, oh, I'm bringing this in with all of this. It's such weird, like metal, sludge, carnival music. Fucking weird. I haven't listened to this in headphones in a really long time. And that last section where it's the bass and the keys are so heavy in the left channel, and they're just making this weird atonal that are so, oh fuck, it's huge. Such a wonderful. I want to go back a little bit there. God, fucking Patton screams in this are just so fucking unhinged, and it just breaks. God, it's so fucking heavy as shit. God, I fucking love it. And now we're gonna get into something completely different. Let's go back. Almost like an industrial breath sound. The fucking clown metal is back. This really super dreamy section. God, his vocals are so beautiful there, man. I fucking love them. Let's get back to this. This fucking shit. Let's go here. Let's go. Right into clown metal. And it just all falls apart at the end. I love that last section where he keeps screaming miracle. It's one of those examples where, like, even though Patton's voice is obviously like at the forefront of all of this fucking shit, he has no problem making it part of the sonic texture of what's going on, because in headphones especially, like, everything else is so huge and his voice is just providing texture in there as he's singing that fucking miracle at the end. God, that song is so fucking huge. I love Malpractice. I think Kindergarten's the next track, which is again another more rocky tune on the album, which on the original release, when I had it on cassette, I believe what we just heard was the end of side A, and then side B started with Kindergarten. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that's how it went. And I always thought like the second side almost gets a little weirder than the first side. The first side is stacked pretty heavy with a lot of more rocky tunes, where the things kind of go all over the place in this second side. And there's a couple tracks, like a couple of the tracks aren't nearly as like outright catchy as some of the stuff on here, but it's still pretty fucking good, man. Still pretty fucking good. Let's do Kindergarten here.
Maybe one day I'll be royalty.
I love the bass, the chordal stuff that Billy's playing there. It's fucking wonderful.
Drinking fountains are shut up than they used to be. The swings on the playground don't even fit me anymore. Folklore. Nobody's supposed to believe in the next grade. Write it 100 times.
Here we go. Let's get that bass. That fucking like carnival barker distorted megaphone voice would become such a fucking staple in Mike Patton's repertoire. Like if you listen to everything from obviously Mr. Bungle, but Tomahawk, there's that one song, God Hates a Coward, where he has like on a gas mask, almost like an air filtration mask that he tosses a fucking microphone into and then distorts the fuck out of it. Man, he would really run with that sound. It's so fucking cool. Now something most rock bands don't do, a bass solo. God, that section has such strut to it, man. God, such fucking strut. Those drums, man. Woo! Fuck, a song with a guitar solo, a bass solo. Fucking big rock song. Now, the next song, I believe, is Be Aggressive, which is on this album, kind of an anomaly. It's really weird and kind of tongue-in-cheek. I believe Roddy Bottum, the story behind this song is that Roddy Bottum, who is a very, and has been for as long as I've known Faith No More to be a thing, a very proudly out gay man. And he wanted to, because Mike Patton really was open to singing about literally anything, wanted to write the most outwardly sexually gay song possible and see if he could get Mike Patton to squirm. And the song here is Be Aggressive, which is essentially about just giving blowjobs. So let's go. what makes it even fucking filthier is that the entire chorus, which is basically cheering on the participant to suck dick harder, it's like a fucking cheerleader chorus doing cheers. The Roddy Bottom's keyboards to me always felt like a mixture of like church keyboards and carnival keyboards, but also like horror movie soundtrack keyboards. They were always such a weird, stark contrast to everything that was going on in the music. It's such a wonderful texture on top of everything. And of course, there's Billy Gold just fucking chugging along. And I'm just wondering, maybe I've heard that sound before, but this feels like some of this feels like I'm hearing it for the first time because I haven't listened to this in headphones for so long. I mostly just put this on my speakers or in my car or wherever I listen to this, but there's like a sound that's going on. I don't know if that's Mike Patton or if that's keys, if that's Roddy Bottom doing that with a swipe along with like a trigger. But that's a fucking cool sound. I kind of want to hear that again. Yeah, there it is.
Tall and reckless, ugly seeming, down my throat, you filthy bird, that's all I need. This empty pit, I've got to feed to prove a bit to healthy man I've got to be.
Whenever I hear that line, I think of someone going like this. I've got to feed to prove I'm fit to a healthy man I got to be. It's all come.
I've got to feed to prove a bit to healthy man I've got to be. Malnutrition, my submission, you're the master and I'll take it on my knees. Ejaculation, tribulation, I swallow, I swallow, I swallow, I swallow.
Such a silly fucking song. Now, the next song, A Small Victory, is one of the singles that they had off of this record, and it's a fairly straightforward rock tune with a good catchy hook. So let's go for it. They had a music video for this one, which I think was like a big concept World War II. If I remember correctly, there's like, it's supposed to take place in some war. And yeah, I just remember one of them being in like army garb or something. I'd have to look it up. It's been so long since I've listened to this track. Or I mean, since I've seen the video. The bass in this song is so good. That little section there is so fucking hip hop coded with the drums, and it sounds like scratches, but it's not scratches. It's fucking Mike Patton with his voice. Keep my mouth shut. Let's shut it, apart from it. No, let's shut it. No, no, let's shut it, apart from it. No, let's shut it. Body down. It almost feels like there was like one of those clickers in the right ear where it's just like going on. There's a lot going on with the vocals. He's like, hup, hup, hup. And then there's like a growl in this side that happens during that section. I want to hear it again. Body down. The spooky ghost vocals and that little section there. I fucking love those things.
Constant pitch and one constant rhythm right into your ear. You still won't hear. 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 You still won't hear.
That little descending, just falling apart note at the end. Jesus, it's awesome. As you can imagine, and I'm sure nobody's enjoying this other than me, and that's fine. I just want to sing the entire thing, the entire time. And I have to hold myself in because usually when I'm in my car driving or I have this on, I'm just fucking belting this entire album the entire time. That song has such good vocal melodies. And he's got such a wonderfully croony voice when he wants to do it. It's so fun to sing. Oh God, it's such a good song. Now we're going to get into a couple of the tracks, Crack Hitler and Jizzlobber, that I love Jizzlobber. I think that's a really heavy, fucking dirty ass song. Crack Hitler's always been kind of one of those songs where I've been like, I like it, but it's not necessarily one of the stronger tracks. If it was one of the tracks, if there was any tracks, and this is a 10 out of 10 album for me, honestly, there are no bad songs on this. That would probably be my least favorite of the album. And that's what we're going to listen to right now is Crack Hitler. It's still cool, but I don't know. It's one that I don't necessarily always have to listen to. But in context of listening to the album, it's really cool. The fucking Jimi Hendrix wah. That bass and the drums just locked in. Fucking the bass, he's just popping that shit so high, man. Champagne. What a weird shift, right? To go from this like pop and lock kind of fucking funk almost, just straight up, just industrial, like here's an army screaming while marching in line, fucking commanding.
Here he comes, look out.
I think a lot of times, especially in the busier tracks like this one, like the guitar and the bass are just going so ham. Like there's a lot going on between those two, where Roddy Bottum just plays like bed tracks and just creates an ambience that's so nice. And I think that's what works about it, that doesn't make the music too overwhelming, is that there's just kind of a bass line there, for lack of a better term, with Roddy Bottum's fucking keyboards. That's just a nice bed pad that creates an ambience that kind of turns the more poppy and upbeat aspects of what may be going on with the bass and the guitar and puts like a sinister vibe underneath. And I think if anything, this album, in contrast to the last album, The Real Thing, while this is a lot of this is tongue in cheek, there's a real sinisterness that's underneath everything that's on this album that really just kind of makes it a very ominous listen. I really love when Patton kicks in here. I'm not sure if it's on this one or one coming up. Yeah, it's on this right now. It's almost Bruce Dickinson Iron Maiden-ish, isn't it? Let's just go back. Like, can I take this back just a little bit there? When he starts, it almost feels like kind of like Iron Maiden vocals, just a slight bit. Oh, fucking Apple Music's being a dick. It's almost like air raid sirens going on. It's absolutely what's going on. One of the more diverse tracks on the album for sure. And now we're going to round out the album because the final song, Midnight Cowboy, if you're familiar with the movie or the soundtrack from Midnight Cowboy, which is obviously like a 70s movie, is super duper. It's almost like a mood piece. It's an instrumental that rounded out the album. Jizzlobber is just a straightforward fucking punch to the face. So a lot of the adventurous nature of the album, right? It kind of stops with Crack Hitler. Jizzlobber is pretty fucking weird, but it's a lot more straightforward. almost like Psycho. No, I'm totally wrong. I forgot about how weird this song is. This is a really weird song. Those guitars are so fucking huge and dirty. God, I love it. And the bass really fucking complements those the fucking riffs that are playing and just kind of adds quarterly to it. God, it just fills it out so nicely. What a different sound they have when the keyboards aren't present. I think if I remember correctly, there's some of this album, and especially the next album, King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime, where Roddy Bottum, the keyboard player, just wasn't present for some of it because he, if I remember correctly, he was in the throes of like substance addiction. So there's like some stuff where he was kind of in and out of the process of recording, especially that album. I don't think he was heavily involved in the next album, but it changes the sound of this when they become just like a really super sludgy metal band. It's different for sure. I love this section where this is basically the outro where it's just chugging a fucking long. It's just like big riffs and the song just kind of slowly descends into madness. What a tremendously epic way to end that song. Such a sludgy fucking doomy track. And then you just have these cathedral fucking organs that just take over to send to the heavens. Fuck. I love that track. That's such a good track, dude. All right. And we're going to round out. This is the end of the album proper. The final track, which is a cover of the 70s. Who was it? Dustin Hoffman that was in this movie, Midnight Cowboy, about a male gigolo. And this is the theme to that movie. No vocals, just instrumental. And it's a great vibe to end the album. And then maybe we'll listen to Easy. Maybe. That's not really the true ending to this album, as I've said before. But let's go ahead and round this out. I love the sound of the guitars that are just low, just kind of strumming away, almost mariachi style in the background. I don't want to I hate to stop this and talk at all because it's such a fucking immaculate vibe. But man, listening to this on headphones is so much different than listening to it over the air. How the fucking guitars just start going like they're dying in the background. Like the guitar player just fucking died. I fucking love that so much. And that's the end of Angel Dust. It's hard for me to like really be objective about this record. And I know I've been nothing but overtly glowing about everything that was on this. GG's, Cariosa, I'd be so interested, good or bad, what you thought of that. We're gonna play the bonus track easy, because if anything, Faith No More were heavy metal pranksters, and so much so that the next song will clue you into how much of a bunch of fucking maniacal Dennis the Menace motherfuckers they were. But it's hard. You enjoyed it? That was quite nice. I'm so happy. That makes me so happy. It's just one of those albums that are a journey. There's such meticulous craft put into the flow of the album that even though the songs kind of jumped all over the place genre-wise, they all flowed really well into each other. And from a recording standpoint, it is so fucking immaculate because there's so much going on. The music is so big and at times really fucking operatic and like epic. And then sometimes very small, but always really busy and dense. So thank you for hanging out with me and listening to that. I don't know how many more of these I do, because it's hard. Like it's a different thing for me to sit here and just like, I just want to sit and jam. Honestly, I just wanted to sit and sing the entire album, but I was like, no, people need to hear the vocals. They don't need to hear me. But I've heard this album hundreds of times. Like I've listened to it since I was 15, and I'm almost 50 years old at this point. And this has been one of those albums, like this is a desert island album for me, in a way that it's almost impossible at this point to be objective about it. So yeah, that's Angel Dust. So thank you for joining me on that ride. It's a 10 out of 10 album for me. No critiques. I mean, obviously I had notes for Crack Hitler can be a little busy, but it's still a really cool track. My favorite song on the album might be Everything's Ruined, because it just makes me so fucking happy. It always has since I was young, but really all these songs are just so special. And let's listen to, you give it a 7.5? Fair. Awesome. What would you say is your favorite track on the record, Cariosa? What did you like the most? I'd love to hear you. We're gonna listen to the bonus track, which is just a fucking straight up cover of It's Easy Like Sunday Morning. I can hear how it inspired a lot of stuff I grew up listening to. Absolutely. It's very apparent. You like the Jizzlobber song? Or are you talking about you like the Be Aggressive song? Which one? There's 2 Jizz songs on this record. You're talking about Be Aggressive? Oh, Jizzlobber? Awesome. All right. Well, here you go. Here's the bonus track. Probably might be almost eclipse Epic as their biggest song. Oh yeah, it's a long album.
No, it's sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain.
Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow.
Seems to me, girl, you know I've done all I can. You see a big store in the borrow. Yeah. Ooh, that's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm easy.
I'm easy like Sunday morning.
I wanna be high, so high. I wanna be free to know the things I do alright. I wanna be free, just me. Oh, baby.
Sorry, I didn't have the lyrics up. And now here's one of the fucking dinkiest fucking solos you've ever heard in your entire life. Hold on.
Sunday morning, yeah, yeah. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning.
Absolutely love that song. I hate that they mashed that on the end of the album just because the record company wasn't confident that they could sell this album, and they had to like, because the album has a tone to it, right? And then that fucking song is such a goober fucking song. It's awesome, and I love it, and every time I hear it, I just want to sing the entire thing. But it has no place being lumped into this. So it always, every time I see on streaming platforms that they've mashed fucking Easy on the end of Angel Dust, it just kind of pisses me off a little bit. It always has, but it is fucking awesome. So it was very different. Yeah, very, very different. But yeah, that's it.